everyone. Today we're looking at the TikTok hashtag autism acceptance. This was something else that was kind of mentioned when I was looking for like ridiculous social media sort of movements. Someone said that autism acceptance can get kind of out there. I'm kind of going in this fairly blind. I mean, I've worked with some kids with autism, but that seems kind of like a far cry from anything that would necessarily happen on social media. So in that way, I really kind of feel like I'm coming to this blind. So we're only gonna watch like the top somewhere between 5 and 10 videos, depending on how long it takes us. I would like this to remain a somewhat short video since I don't really know what I'm getting into. So we'll just go ahead and go through the first 5 to 10. And I'm sorry if you hear claw noises in the background. That's my dog. No one else is in the house right now, so she's with me, and she's rolling all over the rug I made. Okay, so I just spent the past few minutes looking at several of these TikToks. None of them are anything that I would say is out there or cringy. I do find it a little questionable putting your child like videos with your autistic children on here, just because I don't know if we really that that gets into a bit of a gray area for me. But otherwise, like nothing terrible. So we're gonna take a look and see if we can find like autism acceptance like cringe compilation maybe, and see if that yields anything at all. So we have Autism TikTok Compilation 9 from Autistically Autistic. So we'll take a look at this one.
Red, you got any zingers for the crowd? No? How about you, Nelly?
Yeah, I got one. You're a fat fuck.
Okay, I need to see that again.
Red, you got any zingers?
So, mom not wanting to vaccinate my brother because she thought it would give him autism.
For the crowd? No? How about you, Nelly?
Yeah, I got one. You're
Him having autism anyway. Okay, that is kind of funny because of like that whole line from the anti-vaxxers, but that's more cringe from the anti-vaxxers than it is from the autism community.
Red.
So in regards to like the sensory toy thing, if it works for you, that's great. Some people have a real problem with it for some reason. Uh, we have kids that use sensory toys even when there's like no neurodivergency that we're aware of. And sometimes even fucking adult. Like when you're listening to a long lecture or something, sometimes you want something to play with your hands just because sitting in a room for 7 fucking hours listening to a lecture that you have no fucks to give about and you are just constantly looking at your clock waiting for the time to pass, sometimes you need something to do with your hands. Like, I get that. Personally, I'm not a fan of sensory toys. I keep crochet or something with me for that reason, but that's me. If sensory toys work for you, even if you're not neurodivergent, then more power to you. I don't really care. I just realized this is not autism cringe. This is just autism TikTok compilation. All right, so after many attempts of finding the shit on like the autism acceptance stuff, I even started a video on that was an autism TikTok compilation. I misread it with there being cringe in there, but there wasn't. Like there wasn't anything. I watched like the first 4 or 5 and I'm just like not getting anything out of this. So we're gonna take a look at fake disorder cringe. It's a little bit broader than the initial intent for this video, but I'm really not finding anything in the autism acceptance stuff that I feel the need to showcase. It's mostly just people doing their own thing that is maybe a little outside of what's expected, but overall pretty harmless. So we're gonna watch fake disorder cringe because I think that probably still encapsulates what the person was originally talking about with autism acceptance. So we're gonna go ahead and watch that. So, me to my hallucinations after I yell at my mom that I don't want to make friends and want to be alone. What in the fuck is this? Sometimes, so I want to say some things, and I want to preface everything that I have to say throughout the rest of this video with I understand that people can actually suffer from some things that these people are claiming to suffer from. I understand that. But I think that to a certain extent, some of these, like me to my hallucinations, after I yell at my mom that I don't want to make friends and I want to be alone, I understand that pressure of wanting to make friends when you're a loner, or not wanting, but like your parents thinking that you need to make friends when you're a loner. I had a little bit of that when I was a kid. Like I understand getting frustrated by that because socializing is not a fun thing. At least not for me. In the vast majority of circumstances, the only time I've ever liked socializing was at an anime convention, or at a card game tournament. And then I lost interest in those things, and I haven't really enjoyed it since. So, but when you're talking about like that, and then you're like me to my hallucinations, my big question for this person is it hallucinations or is it very vivid daydreaming? Because I've had that. Like I've like gotten so lost in my own head because I'm wondering because they're so young, do they understand the difference? Like I've gotten it so lost in my own head that like I'm laughing at my own jokes from inside my head. I'm like acting out conversations without meaning to, and it's part of the reason why I like to stay in my room so I don't look like a fucking crazy person. But sometimes you get like so lost in scenarios in your own head that it can feel real for a bit, and then you kind of come back to reality, and you're like, oh yeah, that was all in my fucking head. It's depending on your imagination level, you can have very, very vivid daydreams. I had far more vivid daydreams when I was younger than now as an adult. Partially because I can't, like, I think I've mentioned this before, I was homeschooled. So I had more free time on my hands and more time alone just in general. Uh, and so I would, like, fly back and daydream. And so because of that, my daydreams would get, like, progressively more vivid. That doesn't make them hallucinations. And the big difference, at least my understanding of the big difference between like vivid daydreams and hallucinations, is that you recognize the daydreams as daydreams, you recognize that they're not real. And hallucinations seem so real that you have to be told that they are not real. That's my understanding. The fucking Tourette's TikToks with like I went deep into the whole Ticks and Roses controversy on that one. Uh there are so many people that, and I've seen so many creators who have Tourette's, that once you like see the side by side comparison, I can't do a good job of explaining it here. I don't have Tourette's, I've never had Tourette's. But when you see like the side by side of someone who has Tourette's and then the TikTok Tourette's, it's the there's something like very distinct that you can see the differences between. And this like I can something that was um told specifically from several creators was that the idea of propping up your phone and doing a series of ticks just does not make sense. Oh, I fucking hate these sideways ones. Okay, so this is what a flashback looks like for me. Most of us in the system get them, but I'm the one All right, I'm not gonna watch the rest of this because it's fucking sideways and I don't like it. But the DID community is someone. There was actually, I don't know if you guys know about this. So I've been around fake disorder, cringe TikTok shit. I watch a couple of creators that have covered that, especially creators that have. I've never seen anyone with DID cover the DID TikTok people. Um, I will say that so much of the claims of the DID TikTok community just seem out there to me. Like, they have DID, but have no history of trauma. They have like 2,000 alters or some shit like that. They get pretty out there. And there was an actual medical organization that started covering them, and I need to find it again because their video had been taken down because all of the like TikTok DIDers went fucking nuts in their comment section and like attacked them. And the big whole point of their video, the medical um organization's video, was pointing out how these are people are creating false narratives around DID and are creating it as something to be like there was one girl that got her DID diagnosis and then went and bought a cake that said happy DID diagnosis and things like this does not make sense. With this disorder causes people a lot of distress. So to see someone going out buying a cake for it, it does not lead to credence that she actually has it or something like that. Like I'd have to watch the video again, and unfortunately I think it was reposted by like an outside third party at some point. I'd have to track it down, but that's a whole controversy that maybe we'll cover at some point because it was really interesting. That is reminds me of the girl that does like a bunch of like face painting shit on this is how I think depression looks like, and this is how it's just something where oh god, I don't know. It doesn't the overacting, the kind of caricature of the mental disorder that's being presented always feels so incredibly disrespectful to me. This next one says people with depression ignoring the smell of mold in their room. And it was from someone that apparently requested saying do one with depression. Uh, Next part says people with derealization finally snapping into it after weeks. People with schizophrenia having a staring contest with a dead relative. This just feels like you're making fun of these people. Like, I don't necessarily think that that was the intention. I think that they're kind of like trying to chase clout or something. But again, there's this sense of no real understanding or respect towards people that deal with these conditions. People with bulimia looking at their teeth again, like this. Yeah, this I genuinely don't get this sense of malice here, but I get a sense of like she really has no fucking clue how insensitive she's being. Okay, this says here is me having a panic attack at work after a lady with long, sharp acrylic fingernails unintentionally grabbed my hand. I have a serious phobia of long nails, acrylic sharp or not sharp. It freaks me out really bad. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna judge anyone's phobia, but I would be far more thrown off. I personally wouldn't have a panic attack, but I would understand someone else having a panic attack if someone grabbed intentionally or otherwise grabbed their wrist, their hand, their whatever, depending on how much of a germaphobe you are, how much you dislike physical contact, or all of that stuff. But whatever, let's see what his panic attack looks like, I guess. Why the hell would you record this? Is my question. Like, why the hell would you record this? Why the hell? I don't really understand. Even if, let's just take this at face value and say that he is having a genuine panic attack. I can't verify that, but let's just say for the sake of argument he's having a genuine panic attack. Why the hell, what is with this normalization of putting your most vulnerable moments online as a form of entertainment? It is fucking disturbing to me. So it's okay to have some things private.
Rocks!
And I
don't really know why that one was in fake disorder cringe, unless there's something that I'm not getting about this. I can't tell the gender with all the makeup. I want to say it's a woman. But dressing up as a dragon, showing their horde. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not something I would do. Wouldn't necessarily put this in fake disorder unless it was it a DID shit thing? I don't know.
Rocks!
and I got this for Maria because she really enjoys like this type of vintage stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can get her to switch in so y'all can see her reaction. Okay, first of all, wig who? This is so cute. Oh, this is cute.
Yeah, that's another thing with the DID is that, like, the DID TikTok people is that their switches are like instantaneous on command, that sort of shit. I don't know enough about DID to give any deep breakdown, but it, as someone who doesn't even have that much information, it comes across very disingenuous. And given that all these people are very young, it really does seem like an attention grab more than anything else. We'll probably watch one more, and then I'm probably just gonna call it a video because this one just was a flop. It was a flop. I tried it. This is one of those things where we try things out and sometimes they don't work out. But, it's okay. It's part of what this month is. It's trying out different things, and now we know that, autism acceptance cringe covering is not for this channel. Okay, so it says people who can blink it to the beat have ADHD. I fucking hate these trends. I've seen this one a couple of times. They're so fucking stupid. Just because you have a sense of rhythm and can blink on the beat doesn't mean you have ADHD. I fucking hate these um trends of like these minor tiny things that most humans can do is indicative of some sort of neurodivergency or mental illness or what the fuck ever it is, whatever the current trend is. It's just fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb. It's stupid. I the one thing, and this is part of the reason why I am just cutting this video like super super short, is one, there isn't a whole lot to cover here. I don't really have a whole lot to say, and also I do want to give my 2 cents on this shit though. Is that I get really fucking tired, and this goes with fat acceptance too. I get really fucking tired of people placing their entire personality on either the idea that they have some sort of condition or mental illness or are just like any condition that they have, or for example with even fat acceptance, because they're fat that becomes like their whole personality. It's so stupid, it drives me nuts, and I wish people, it's like, please, for the love of God, what happened to hobbies? What happened to hobbies? Some people don't like watching TV much. That's fine. I'm someone who doesn't really watch a whole lot of TV. Maybe you don't want to watch a whole lot of YouTube videos. Good. That's fine. There's ways to be productive with your time rather than trying to put on this caricature of someone with autism or DID or Tourette's and being so fucking disrespectful about it. Like, oh my god. What is with this? I don't and it's even if they just have it, there are a number of people that will make it like their whole personality at the same time. I don't have any problem with anyone that has Tourette's or DID or autism or ADHD or depression or anxiety, any of that. That's fine. That's fucking fine. I have PMDD. I don't make it my whole personality, and I don't excuse my poor behavior. I just well, it drives me nuts. There are some people on like PMDD subreddits too. I don't want to get into it, but there are some people on PMDD subreddits that think that or was it maybe it was somewhere else on social media, but it's been there, and they think that because they have PMDD, which can cause some serious emotional dysregulation at times, that their friends and family should just kind of forgive them for their outbursts and like it doesn't work like that. Do you and I never want to get into it with these people, but I'm like, do you make an effort to apologize? Have you made efforts to find coping mechanisms for when you are in the midst of that? Just because you're struggling to keep yourself emotionally regulated, be it through anger or sadness, as those are the two primary ones that I've seen, um, does not mean that people just have to forgive you because it's a condition that you have. It's like you have agency. You have to take responsibility for how you act. You do your best and you apologize when you fuck up. And you try to put coping mechanisms in place to try to mitigate that. I just this whole thing that I've seen at times with people and they're just all this shit. The fakers and then the people that think that because they have a condition that anything and everything that they do should just be brushed under the rug just drives me up the fucking wall. But I'm gonna leave it here. It was kind of a boring video. Sorry about that, you guys. But thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.